Okay, he said, "What now?" He didn't promise you what.
No, start with you notice that there's something wrong in the church.
Okay.
Again, right? And I noticed that there was something wrong in the church. Like people going in the church and coming out the same. Sunday after Sunday, there's no change. And it's because there's a lack of relationship. Like the relationship with God is not there. And a lot of these people, like, accept Christ in their life. They confess it with their mouth. They accept Him. They never really believe. You know, they accept. It's a difference between saying, confessing with your mouth and say, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then your actions to really believe. And God is not asking you just to be believed because you just believe. He shows Himself, but you have to get into the Word. You have to search. God says, seek and you shall find. You know, but people don't even know these kind of things. And like what I was saying about acting, I was just like, the first thing when you're acting, they tell you, if there's anything else you want to do, do it. Because if you don't really love it and you don't really have pure intentions, like success, being a millionaire, being famous is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. And I think that people try to use God in that way and thinking that they're going to get all of these things from God, because God, that's not His promise to say that you're going to be a billionaire and you're going to be this and that. Most people don't ever get that. And if that's your motivation, then you're in the wrong place. Like God said, I'll give you peace. Because there's a lot of people that's in the industry that have all of the financial gain. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all of them had all the fun, but they had no peace in their life. They were using drugs and everything else to be their comfort because they had no peace. But God said, I'll give you peace that surpasses understanding. I'm here to give you long days. You know, I'm here to give you the way and give you everlasting life. This is what I promise you. Now, I can, because I am God, I can do exceedingly abundant and bless you, you know, to be all of this. He's not against blessing you in those areas, but that can't be your focus, because he doesn't promise that to you. Those are not the promise. So if you're looking for Him to do those things, then you're in the wrong place. If your intentions are wrong. And you can hide from me, you can hide from you, but you can't hide from God. He knows your intentions. So people got to know that your intentions are everything. Like, if you're doing it for the wrong reason, it's going to show, and you're not going to be able to hang to it. You're going to fall off and you're going to be like, you know what, this is too hard. It's because you want these blessings that you said that come through God, but God never promised that if it's in His will, if it's going to benefit the kingdom. He does provide you with things, but God said that He'll provide you shelter and your needs. He will meet your needs, but everything else, that's according to His will and according to His purpose. He don't bless us to have billions and millions of dollars and give us influence just so that we can be, you know, boast and say that we're this and that. It's all in vain. And the worst life is the life to live. Even if you're a pastor or you're doing anything like that, it's to influence people and have people come to God, but you lose yourself in it. Because God said, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? What is it for a man to preach to the world and have millions of people's soul, but when he get to the gate, I don't know you? It's not worth it at the end of the day. So this, what we're trying to do is we're trying to give these new believers and the lukewarm believers, the people who live in the gray area like me. I have lived there, you know. I've lived in the place where, you know, I love God my way. I loved Him as long as I was comfortable with the way that He did things. And if it wasn't according to my way, then I would find loopholes, or I'll find people that would listen to me and feel, oh, you know what, maybe God, da-da-da-da-da-da. But that's not what it's about. God said that you got to be, you know, renewed and transferred by the renewing of your mind. And God says that lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge me. You don't know better than me. You know, we get so caught up in thinking we know. He said, no, you don't. You really have no idea. But if you trust in me, then I will lead your path. I will lead you to the place that I have that's going to get you what you ultimately should want, which is everlasting life. Everything else in life is an addition to knowing that you seeking God and you're going to have eternal life. And a lot of people think, you got the religious people who think that if I follow all the commandments, then I'm going to heaven. Then you have the people who are so spiritual. They like, oh, I'm so spiritual, I'm not religious. They feel like, works and deeds. Oh, I don't have to follow the commandments as long as I give to charities, and long as I, do these kind of things, that's going to get me there. No, what's going to get you there is having a real relationship with God. And through the real relationship will come convictions of different things. It's like, okay, I know that this is not what he about, so I'm not about it, But that only comes through praying and spending the time and the quality time and the discipline that it takes to incorporate God in your life. And what we want to do is to try to give people that format and let them know this is not a game. Like, this is not that. God said, I'd rather take you hot or cold than lukewarm. I'd rather take you, say, I'm all for you or I'm not against you. It's the people like me that were in the middle. It's like you're praying, you Holy Ghost filled and all of that, but you still living with your boyfriend. You still are having the same sex marriage. You come here, you're a girl, and you're wearing boy clothes, and there's nothing in your life changing because you're not accepting God. You're taking God your way, and you're not saying. And it's really fear. Like, people fear and they don't trust God. They don't believe that he can change their ways. He don't believe that he knows that he is true love. So if he's saying this for a reason, that means that he has something for you. But you have to trust and believe. That's why I said people accept him, but they don't really believe him. They accept him because a lot of people are talking, oh, I accept him because that's what I'm supposed to do. But believing somebody and saying, I'm going to take you at your word. I'm going to believe everything in the Bible, even if I don't believe it. I'm going to say that this word is all true, whether I agree or not. Because my opinion really doesn't matter. What I think really does not matter. It don't. In the grand scheme of things, your feelings are fickle. Your feelings are based off of your heart and where you are at that minute. And God said in the Bible that the heart is deceitful. It's very deceitful based off of what you're influenced by. If you're putting nothing but the world in there, your heart is gonna say certain things, certain ways of living is right. But if you're constantly renewing your mind and meditating on the things of God, then your ways will go that way. And I feel like a lot of times that we live in a society where grace is all we want to live on, and that the fall is where we live. It's never, oh, I fell and I'm getting back up. It's no, I live in the fall. That's where I live at. And that's not what it is. God said that, yeah, you might make mistakes. Like, we're all human. No one's perfect. Jesus died. There's no condemnation in him. But you have to respect his law. He said, if you love me, you will follow my law. But just having the law is not enough. And just giving deeds is not enough. So all of these things that the religious people think one way, and the spiritual people think that if I do the works and if I just do this and I don't have to be super religious, and it's not about the commandments, it's about the relationship. And through the relationship, your actions should change. The fruits of the Spirit should start to show. Things should fall off for you. You know a person when they're in a relationship because they are different by the relationship they're in. Whether that person is a good person for them, you'll see them growing and growing closer to God and them lighter. If they're in a bad relationship, it tears them down. It brings them to wherever the relationship is. So wherever your relationship is with God, that's where you can tell by people's fruit, the way they think and how they move, how they act, where their relationship is with God. Whether it's just for Instagram on Sunday and Wednesday, that's not when that's not when the relationship really happened. It happens like what PT said today, when nobody's watching. Like God is, when you think about your relationship, people say, I want to keep my relationship private. You know, you keep your relationship because you cherish that relationship. You don't, people who do post all this stuff all the time about this, it's only for show because they're not sure about it. The real relationship with God is in your prayer closet, in your own time alone. That's how you grow the relationship. Everything else should come from it. You know, you practice more than, like with athletes. The game is 1 or 2 nights, but practice is every day. And God is like that too. You know, God is going to use you in so many body ways, but it's not a every once in a while. It's a daily bread. And that's what they're not getting. That it's not a Sunday and a Wednesday night thing and then whatever. It's a daily bread. Like it's a daily warfare. So when you come against those tests, you're already built up in it. And people don't know that. Like the newcomers, they just think like, okay, I'm saved now, I'm going to heaven. No, like you have to build a real relationship. You cannot think that it's just enough to live any kind of way, and as long as I confess with my mouth I'm saved, then you're saved. No, people are dying and going to hell. God would not have said that these people have healed the sick, prophesied it in my name, gave to charities, did all of this stuff, and he'll say, I don't know you. Why is he saying that if all you have to do is confess with your mouth and that's it? Like he's not there, and there's no condemnation in him. But why is he saying that these people who are doing all of these things, who obviously are not the people of the world, the people who he's talking about is the people of the church. These are people who are doing things in his name. So if these people are not making it in, what do you think for you? And you're not going according to that. Where does that make everybody else? The people who are not seeking him at all, or the people who are not even doing those things. He's saying that they're falling short. They're falling short. And he's not even talking about the people of the world. He's talking about the people of the church. So we're trying to do this. Is like, I'm saved, and what now? What is it? How do I get to where I need to be in God? And we can give them the tools that they need to have a successful relationship with God. Teach them about fasting and praying, prayer life. Tell them how it all began. Let them know what Bible meant. Let them know all of these things that they need to, like a boot camp. Like we do everything with the workouts, and that's fine to work out. But it's all according to a plan, a foundation based off of God. Like all of those things are part, but it has to be centered around the relationship and building that for people. And then the people, those newcomers, they need that because they need that to come out. The lukewarm people, people are already saved, but they're not living right. There's no change in their life. And they was like, well, I've been blessed with this. The devil give blessings. There are people, you watch it every day, Beyonce, Rihanna, they got everything. That doesn't mean nothing. Getting things or succeeding does not mean anything. But when you gain all of that and you actually have nothing, and you look at these people's lives, they are lonely, they are miserable, they can't even, their purpose, they don't even feel fulfilled. Because what they're missing, what they're looking for is only in Jesus Christ. So you got to be centered and grounded in something that's bigger than you. And use your influence not only for your self-gain, but use your influence for the kingdom. God said that he died so we can have life more abundantly in him, though. Not the way you choose to live abundantly, the way that God designed it for us. So people need the information. Like they need this information, need the information to know that people do die and go to hell. It's not a game. So if your preacher is preaching about, the blessings and how this happened, and he's seeing all of these issues going on there, and he's not going it, like, people do die and go to heaven. And people do die and go to hell. And it's real. Like, nobody's trying to make people feel bad, but people need to know the truth. Like, you cannot take God for a joke. And it says in the Bible, the first way to a sanctified lifestyle is the fear of God, which is the respect for him. You respect your father. You respect your father. It's certain things that started from just respect. and everything fell under that. People don't even have respect for God. They don't have the fear of him. Like, you got to take him serious. You can't take him super religious, and you can't take him super, oh,